how to complete an online application for VinUniversity admissions. So to start with, I would encourage everybody to go to the VinUniversity website, vinuni.edu.vn, where you will find a lot of information that will give you a very good background about VinUniversity, our current students, our current programs, and things like that. And then, of course, you can see the announcement for early admissions over there. To access the undergraduate application, go to admissions, click on undergraduate. And here again, I would highly encourage you to go through this information before you start your application. You'll find a nice welcome letter, and over here on the left-hand side, you'll find the key dates. So important to note that the early application cycle is on until the 12th of December, and we will schedule interviews in January based on whoever applies. And so then the next thing is what to expect in your application. You'll find some good questions and answers here, all of the things that we need from you to submit a successful application. And here's the application process, which will help you figure out what to expect in our holistic admissions process. And then you can click on apply now to start the application. But before we do that, also wanted to point out that there's information about the tuition fees and again some commonly asked questions that we have collected from students last year as well as in many of our admission sessions. And then, of course, the very important contact information. If you have questions, you can call this number or you can send an email. Email is probably better, then that way we can get back to you with a much more careful response. And of course, I would highly encourage you to join our official fan page where you can get the updates on what is happening at VinUniversity, not just for admissions, but a lot of other things. Okay, so let's get started with the application. When you click on this Apply Now button, you will be taken to this page, which is the registration page. Here you enter your name and your email address. And this email address is very important because this is where you will get the password for logging in to your VinUniversity application. And when you get that password, you get the screen, you click on the link, you will go to the screen. And then you can, from there, you will be taken to a home page. This will be your VinUniversity admissions homepage. Again, it talks about the 5 stages of your application and then some instructions on what to follow. So I would highly recommend that you go through this before you start. Again, the contact information is always in the footer. So if at any point of time you have a question that you can't find the answer to, you're welcome to contact us. So let's get started. Click here to start your application. You will notice that some of the fields in this application are already filled out. That is because I went in there and I started some information and I saved my application so that when I go back there, I don't have to type in everything every single time. So you will see that some information is already entered. Some fields are compulsory. They are marked in red. And those that are not compulsory, for example, religion or preferred name, they are not marked with a red asterisk. We do want to know your address, where you're currently living and what your permanent address is, your family information, who's your primary caretaker, and if you'd like, you can give us the name of another caretaker, another guardian that you might have. So you will see these 3 buttons, Save, Next, and Submit. If you click on the Submit button without completing the compulsory fields, you will get this message. So you really cannot submit at this stage. But you can always save, and when you do that, all of the information is saved, and then you can move on to the next tab. And you'll get this message that says Application Saved. So the next one is a really important section which talks about all of your academic information. So here we want to know your high school, which country it was from, and your grades from GPA from grades 9, 10, and 11. The grade for grade 12, GPA for grade 12 is optional because many of you are still in your grade 12 and don't have the score yet. And then here, depending on the curriculum that you follow, you should select that curriculum. and let's say if it was the British curriculum, then the grades relevant to that curriculum will show up. And then if you follow the high school curriculum that's different from these three, you can select other, and then you can enter this information here. If you have taken any standardized tests like the SAT, ACT, etc., you should add that information here. Now this is another important section, any scholarships, awards, or honors. So click on insert here, and then you can tell us what those awards were they at the national, district, school level, and a brief description. This description is very, very important. Don't write just a couple of words here. If you don't tell us what those awards are for, then it's hard for us to figure out the importance of or the significance of that award. So I would highly recommend that you add some information here. Some of you have already enrolled at another college or university. If that's the case, then you can add information about that college or university here. And let's move on to the next page. Non-academic achievements. Non-academic achievements, by the name, as the name indicates, it's things other than academics. And again, here you can talk about, it could be some volunteer work that you did in sports teams, any music, any art, anything else that you have accomplished in your high school, and tell us a little bit more about it. And so the next program is called program selection. So this is where you'll come in and you'll select your academic program. So you'll notice that the first choice is mandatory or compulsory, and the second and third choices are not compulsory, which means that we do need you to select one academic program that you want to apply to. And if you want to give us your second and third choice, that is totally fine. So here, when you go in, you can, if you're interested in the College of Business and Management, you can select from one of these two. Or if you really don't know at this point, then you can select undecided. Same with engineering and computer science. And then for College of Health Sciences, you can select the 6-year MD program. So if you choose undecided here, then we're going to work with you during the admissions process to help you decide one program that you really should be applying to, but it's okay to leave it undecided at this point. Essay and references. Here we want you to write one essay about your aspiration and commitment, and follow this prompt describing something that you have achieved as a result of committing yourself over an extended period of time, and also something that you aspire to achieve in the future. The word limit is 400. You may not exceed this. And again, I would say, we're very interested in learning about you as a person. The quality of English is not that important here. So do make sure that this writing is in your own words. Here we will ask you to give us the information about 2 people who we can contact to learn a little bit more about you. When you provide their names, please also make sure that you let them know that you have provided their name and contact information to us, so that they are not surprised. We plan to contact at least one of the 2 references to talk to them about you as a student, you as an individual, things like that. The relationship, now it's important to note that these people should either be your teachers or your mentors. So for example, a parent or a grandparent or a relative or a friend is probably not a good reference to provide to us. And again, they shouldn't be elementary school teachers or middle school teachers, and they should be high school teachers or your current university teachers or a mentor who has worked with you recently. And so the next tab is the documents upload. Here, you will notice that we only have 3 required documents: your national ID, a copy of your transcripts, and a 1-page CV. All of the other documents will be required if you are selected for the interview round, but at this time we are not requiring them, just to make it a little bit easier for you to complete this application form. So for a CV, here is the link to the template that we need you to complete and send back to us. So click on this link, the Word template will open up, upload it back to us, and submit with your application. So now, after all of this is done, you are thinking that your application is complete. Make sure you go through it, make sure everything is accurate, and then you can hit on the submit button. But of course, because this application is incomplete, it won't let me do that. The good thing is it highlights all of the various areas in which I need to do more work, I need to provide more information. So, well, that is it. Then you submit your application, and when you do, you'll get an email confirming that you have received it. And then the admissions team will start the review process, and we will be in touch with you regarding the outcome of your application. So I do hope that you take the time to fill out this application. I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, you can contact the admissions team by email or using the hotline. We look forward to getting your application, and we look forward to hearing more from you regarding your admissions process. Take care. Bye-bye.